Hello and welcome to Flip Flop Tabletop,
a collaborative comedy D&D podcast where two friends take it in turns to play the same character and make the world up along the way.
That's right. I like what you're doing there with the new description.
Thank you.
Very cool.
Thank you. I
Cool.
stole it from the iTunes summary.
Very nice. Right, so last time what happened? We were introduced to Rowe, our half-orc warlock hero man.
Isn't he a hunk?
He sounds like a hunk of junk. He's got them sweet tattoos. He's got a rippling body, I believe is mentioned at some point.
Yeah, I think that was just me talking.
Just like fantasizing over this half-orc.
Yeah, on these tattoos, do we have some sort of... I mean, I haven't seen him add either a swan or a twig-blight creature to it. So
Maybe they're beneath him. Although maybe he'll do that this episode. Who knows?
How does he do it? Does he possess artistic skill of his own, or does he
does.
go and...
All of them are hand done. He has a kit in his inventory. Don't know if you saw it.
So wait a second. He's got the tattoos on his right arm.
Mm-hmm. He does some left-handed.
So is he left-hand dominant, or are they just quite clumsy?
He's right-handed, but like he's obviously all he's ever known is tattooing with his left hand. So it's his dominant tattooing hand.
So he's
by
not
proxy.
actually ambidextrous. He's kind of tatterdextrous. Like he's just good at tattooing with his left hand.
Yeah, I think so. They're a simplistic style that you can pull off with your left hand.
And so what happens if, so does that mean that there's areas where he can't reach? I'm kind of bending my arm here. I feel like the back of the bicep, his triceps.
His biceps are so wide, there must be bits he can't reach.
Yeah. So triceps empty.
To be honest, I didn't think about it this much in depth, but
exactly.
It's good to iron out the important things early on.
Particularly not in combat, just off mic in the intro.
Absolutely. So
speaking of the intro,
back to the big old intro we're doing. So what did he get up to? He went to QA. He met a bunch of people who are struggling with their questing addiction.
Yep, Mike, the
Megalicos, the mighty brother.
We met the ever irrepressible Franny.
What a character. Maybe we'll see him in this episode. Who knows? And we also met Quenlyn, the lovely half-elf who's waiting, I believe, at a barn outside of town. Maybe that's where Rowe will head now. Shall we see what happens?
I think we should see what happens.
All right, let's do it. It's a lovely night. The purple sky sits high above you. The last few streaks of the fading orange sunlight near the horizon are all but gone. There's not a cloud in sight. The tired-looking barn sits neglected in the bend of the road, and you can make out in the distance the shape of a much larger, sturdier, and all-round more fit-for-purpose barn that clearly serves as its replacement. Over the soft whinny of the horses, you hear a call out. "The Orc Man! Glad you could make it." Sitting atop a fantastic-looking black horse, Quenlyn leads a small brown donkey behind her. "Best I could get, I'm afraid."
Can I just say... Can I just say...
Nice.
That is a fantastic-looking black horse.
Thank you, yes, I use this one quite a lot. I'm rather fond of it. Her name's Firecracker.
Sounds like she goes off.
She really does. This is, haven't named this guy yet, but he's all I could get, I'm afraid. Hope you're alright with donkeys.
Rowe pauses a moment. Maybe Quenlyn's a bit worried about his reaction, and then he just says, "I love him."
Oh, brilliant. He's got a lot of character, yeah, sure, absolutely.
Does he, what's his name?
He doesn't have a name yet. I thought maybe you could name him. I mean, Firecracker isn't Firecracker's name, that's just what I call her.
What about Watercracker?
Watercracker, I love it.
He's the opposite of Firecracker, but equally delicious.
Yeah, like firecrackers
Don't
and
eat
watercrackers.
Firecrackers. I misspoke, actually.
Yeah, so Quenlyn leads over Watercracker to you. I
hold out my hand.
He puts his furry donkey face up to your hand. And
I think I reach her out. I reach in my bags, my bagaloons. That's not a real word. I made that up. My bagaloons. I think I've got some sort of food stuff in my rations. I think there might be a carrot in there.
Yeah, I reckon I could imagine that.
Which I hand on over to my boy Watercracker.
Well, you try to. Why don't you go ahead and roll animal handling? I feel like I'm doing Quenlyn's voice just as my DM voice. I need to snap out of that.
That's 10.
Yeah, he kind of takes a little note. He's a hungry donkey. I think he's into it. He's stoked to get a carrot.
Are you saying I've successfully passed the
You've solved the donkey puzzle. Congratulations. Yeah, he's you take +1 reputation between you and Watercracker.
Nice.
Cool.
Hey, so Quenlyn, did you see that? He loves my carrots.
You're a real charmer in all forms.
I think we're off to a fast. I mean, he's probably not fast, is he? But we're off to a 4-legged friendship.
Just so to set the scene, both of the equestrian animals. What's the plural for horses and donkeys together?
I mean, maybe equines.
Both the equines have got just a rope.
I'm going to be really embarrassed if it's like some listeners like, you idiot! You don't know anything about donkeys. They're not equines.
A lot of horse fans listening and donkey haters. So
the cloven boys, they call them.
Are they cloven?
Cloven hooves?
Donkeys?
No, actually neither are horses.
No.
They call themselves that because they started as a goat appreciation society.
Right.
They are cloven. And then they branched out from there.
You know who does have cloven hooves? Something else. El Diablo. Yeah. It's not relevant to this campaign, I'm just saying. El Diablo has cloven hooves.
This is now a rules as written Catholic podcast. Get your cannon ready, boys.
That's 10 Hail Marys for mentioning El Diablo.
I cast the power of catechism. I don't know how to say that.
Cataclysm.
No, catechism.
Wow.
It's like I don't know anything about Catholic faith, I've realized.
So both of the horse and the donkey, Firecracker and Watercracker, both have just a rope tied around their kind of head, snout, and...
A halter.
No, it's just a rope.
I think that's called a halter.
Is it?
Halter? I hardly knew her.
As in, it's not like it's not made for a horse. She's clearly just tied it around the horse and is using it kind of as makeshift reins.
I think that's an impromptu halter.
Okay. Technically.
Which is ironic because I have haltered the flow of this podcast.
You really have. So Firecracker and Watercracker both have an impromptu halter. Fuck it. Fuck this podcast. Right, so both Firecracker and Watercracker have an impromptu halter tied around them, and she's looking around kind of a little bit shadily, but seems keen to go, and she says, all right, let's get going, Rowe. Let's get out of the light.
What's the polite way of asking if somebody's stolen a horse?
And a donkey. Think stolen is probably the wrong term. I borrow Firecracker quite a lot, actually. The new barn there is very... Well, I have a way of sneaking in. I take her out at night. The farmer never notices. I don't consider it stealing myself.
You're literally a midnight cowboy.
Yeah, and I like that. That's exciting to me, Rowe. Get to know me. I'm a hoot.
Does an owl hoot at that point?
No.
I think at that point, Rowe decides to imitate the sound of an owl.
Roll deception.
You're going to be sorry if I get a really good roll. Natural 20, my son.
Quenlyn says...
+4 on deception. 24 for my owl hoot.
Quenlyn says, oh, an owl. She thinks it's an owl. Well done.
Oh, really?
What's the most effective you can be?
That's an owl?
Like, if you've imitated one as successfully as possible, the best outcome is she thinks it's an owl. Anyway,
all right, Quenlyn. So we've got a bit of a quest to go on. Do I need to prep anything? What's the deal? I mean, I'm usually a bit of a solo adventuring. I'm actually a bit new to this. I don't know if you knew that. We talked quite briefly, but. I'm still kind of coming to my own as a quester. So, is there anything I need to know? How do we do this?
Well, I've seen these footprints before. I've been past them, and I've heard the stories about the people go missing. So, I would say just be alert. Stick with me. I'm a pretty tough character. So I do a lot of adventuring, Rowe. Sometimes I adventure with the people from QA. Never with you before, but
Yeah, what does Mike think about that?
well, Mike, he's a sweet thing, but he's been a real boon for me, to be honest. Me and Franny went out a couple of weeks ago. I've been, with
Yeah,
quite a few-
what happened to Franny's horse? What's that about?
Oh.
Daisy Clopper, is it?
Well, I wouldn't listen to anything Franny says about it, but basically he got in trouble for just gallivanting and riding that thing through town, chasing the swan.
Wait, he was chasing the swan.
He's
That thing is villainous.
I don't know how long he stuck around, but Franny's quite the drinker,
Nice.
and he gets more and more adventurous.
When we
the
say
more
riding
drinky
through
he
town,
gets.
are we talking the streets, or are we talking inside people's houses?
No,
On
this
top of the houses?
have you seen his horse is humongous? So just merely riding it down the street with his his I don't know if you've seen, but he's got a kind of
He described
whole
it to
thing
me.
over the top. It's pretty intimidating. Just driving down the street, he just keeps doing it. That's the thing. The Burgomaster's actually not a bad man, but this was probably the 5th time he'd done it, so he really had to be confiscated. But I don't think he'll give up. He's a reckless soul, that Franny.
He's tenacious.
He's very good to have, very fun to have around on an adventure, I must say.
Have you noticed my voice, Quenlyn? Does it sound...
You sound better. Did you have a cold before?
I don't know. I mean, I have been a little gravelly lately.
And by before, I really mean a couple of hours
A
ago.
couple of hours ago, yeah. I had one of Emma's famous firewaters, and I think it really, really kicked the hangover, and I'm back on form.
Oh, that's good to hear. Quenlyn says, "All right, you wanna head up? Should we go take a look at these
Mount
tracks? It's
on
not
up.
too far."
I approach Watercracker.
Yep.
I put my hand out. I'm coming in peace. Watercracker's
yeah.
aware of that.
Well, you're the guy who gave him the carrot. He
Yeah.
loves you.
Successfully. And also intimidated him into thinking there was an owl around.
As you hop on, you do manage to hop on, but it's a bit uncomfortable for old Watercracker, and he kind of takes off in a little bit of a jolt in front of you, but you soon realize that a jolt for Watercracker is really a trot for anyone else.
What's my leg situation? How I'm canonically 6'5".
Yeah, your feet don't touch the ground, but you could you could dismount the horse incredibly easily. You could probably put your hands on the horse and jump off backwards, and you'd be fine.
I've got the
By horse, I
opposite
mean
problem that Franny does.
Yeah, you really do. So yeah, you're now up ahead of Quenlyn, and she, with almost disappointing ease, rides ahead of you and gets in front and says, "Tell me a bit more about yourself, Rowe. What gives you the lust for adventure? All I know about you is what you said in the meeting there, and I've learned not to really trust what you hear from people in there, so is there anything I need to know?"
Well, I mean, I was also quite hungover. Had a bit of a night last night, and I'm not a crazy one. I mean, I like an ale and a saga as much as the next man. But well, I've actually just come into a bit of my life has changed. Quenlyn, does that sound crazy?
No, from the story you told, I can see how that would be
Well, that's exactly
quite
it.
remarkable.
I've just suddenly realised that I have these magic powers, and the world has sort of opened up, and I'm still grappling with it. I've always wanted to help people, and now I think maybe I've got the chance to do that. But if I'm honest, back in my hometown of
Notice board, yeah?
Notice board, there's a notice board which was named after the notice board that I put up.
The town is named after something you did?
I mean, it's not a huge accomplishment. It was called for quite a long time apple pie because old Mrs. Bennett baked a really nice apple pie.
So does someone invent sliced bread. We know what that does.
Yeah. Notice board is a very fickle town.
How many times has it been renamed?
Well, you know the expression, people go whichever way the wind blows? In one famous day, the town was called North Wind, Northwest Wind, and Southerly.
Wow.
Also quite a strange day for wind. Well, if I might ask, Quenlyn, what motivates you? I mean, I think you said something yesterday earlier on at a previous time.
Yeah,
Before my voice went weird. You said that you were curious. Is that is that what drives you?
That's a good part of it. There's lots. I mean, yeah, sure, helping people is all good and all. I like to discover new things. Also, I mean, the reward is never really goes amiss, to be honest. But
Like a bit of gold.
I like to see new things.
All about that booty.
I like a bit of booty. You know, I'm not solely driven by money or anything, but I probably wouldn't be doing this if it weren't for the 100 gold reward.
Sorry?
The 100 gold reward? You didn't see the flyers?
No. So who was that? Who was that with again?
Burgomaster. He put it up.
The Burgomaster, of course.
The beauty of it is, it's really just for information, leading to the people. So
arrest.
we don't even have to save them.
The arrest
We just
of
have
the
to
beast.
find out. Yeah, or whatever it is. Might not be a
Do
beast.
you operate under a arrest first, ask questions later policy, or are you more a fire your bow from the hip sort of quester?
Well, I like to let fancy take me, to be honest. I've been known for a bit of both.
You're a fancy quester.
I'm a very fancy pants. Look at my fancy horse.
So we sharing this? Is that how we're doing it?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Nice. I like you, Quenlyn. Straight down the middle. No mucking around.
Let's say 60-40. I mean, I do know where the tracks are.
Look, if that
Seems
seems
only
fair,
fair.
that seems fair because you've also equipped me with this wonderful ride.
Take him back, though, at the end of the night.
Whose is he? Is he also in the barn?
He was in the barn. He was the only other equestrian type animal in here. There.
In there. We've moved on. We've
Yeah,
moved
we've
down the
moved
road,
on. We're down the road a bit.
as we can both see from the things around us on either side.
Yeah, I mean, part of being able to, if a donkey goes missing, if poor Watercracker goes missing, they'll be onto me there. It's the whole thing really rests on me returning it.
Sorry, what? So are you saying that Watercracker is more valued than Firecracker?
No, they must both go back. There's a point. If either is missing, the farmer's going to grow suspicious. So he's yours for the night, I'm afraid, Rowe.
I see that. I thought you were trying to claim that this
So
was...
relish it. Relish
I
your time
do.
with Watercracker, for it is fleeting.
What do you think it'd cost to buy a donkey? What's a donkey go for in this economy?
Well, I would say a donkey goes for...
Like 25 gold pieces? Something like that. That seems like fair.
I'd say a donkey would set you back about 8-10 gold pieces. It's not too bad.
I really highballed it with 25, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. I think they'd happily part with a Watercracker for that amount. But, I mean, I don't know how you're going to tell them you know about Watercracker and love him so much you want him. Maybe you could get a different one.
I could say I was out here looking for owls.
It's true.
Maybe, I'm an owl spotter. I don't know if Have you heard any owls recently?
Yeah, I heard one just before. Did you hear it?
Yeah, I did actually.
What did it sound like?
Ooh. Ooh.
Roll deception.
I'm not lying. It's another 20.
What the hell? Oh my god, that was it. Was that you back then, Rowe?
No, bullshit.
That was perfect
no,
imitation.
Bullshit. That was a perfect deception. You can't tell me that she's going to recognize that. Admit it. She is perfectly convinced that, one, she was convinced how perfect that hour was, and she's now convinced
She's looking
of
at
how
you doing one.
good my impression is.
Okay, she goes, oh, there it goes again. I couldn't hear your impression. Yeah, wow. I've never heard an owl in these parts before. It's so far from trees.
Aren't we in the woods yet?
No,
we're
not
in the
yet.
woods.
We're not there.
Yeah, grass owl.
Grassy fields.
You've heard of a grass mouse? It's a grass owl.
It's the same concept.
Grass owls. I'm a bit of an ornithology expert. Grass owls are actually one of the rare owls which don't fly. They hitchhike everywhere.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great. She's going to believe you on the back of your double D20 for owl-related deception.
Brilliant.
Anyway, probably enough owl talk. Shall we press on? The pale moon lights the wide main road that leads to the forest in the distance, and you pass small farmhouses that consist of hodgepodge mixture of the familiar redstone, clay, knotted wooden beams, and thatched roofs. As you continue down the road, the houses grow more sparse, and soon they are mere specks of light, barely distinguishable against the distant glow of kidney stone. Quenlyn says,
So that was like another village.
that was just the houses that, like, on the edge of, as you go out of a town, there's kind of farms, right? And
Yeah,
houses
yeah.
getting further and further apart.
I thought we were further out. I've been talking quite loudly.
Oh, no, I mean, no, yeah, like you were kind of like, you're a bit far out. So the barn is like a bit out of town, And then these houses that you're going past are even further. And now you're so far out, you can barely even make out any
Those
houses.
are the last suburbs.
Those are the last suburbs of the small town of Kidneystone. So Quenlyn says, "Look, Orkman, this is the spot. You show me a more ominous set of footprints than this."
I mean, I will just say...
She hops down from her horse.
My name is Rowe. Orkman is...
What?
Oh, it's a bit blunt, isn't it?
Do you prefer half orc? To be honest,
Rowe.
I forgot your name.
Rowe. It's Rowe.
We have only just
My
met.
name is Rowe.
Rowe.
No, just once.
Okay, Rowe. Yeah, she hops down from her horse and looks at the footprints and gets down and has a good look.
Rowe, I'd like to say jumps down, but sort of jumps sideways off water.
Slides off.
Yeah. I want to investigate these footprints. What's the deal with them?
Roll investigation.
That's a 4 because I used all of my good rolls up on owl-related business.
So you look down and you can't really even see the footprints, or you just kind of see grass and dirt, and you're not so good at spotting footprints, and it doesn't register in your eyes. You know what I mean? If you're not sort of, you don't know what you're looking for, you don't know what to see. And then
Quenlyn, I can't see anything.
You've got to know what to look for, Rowe.
Thank you, by the way.
Look, you can see here, this seems to be a couple sets of humanoid footprints. You see here? Do you see them?
Yes.
Do you see them?
I don't know. I might be lying.
And then she points out, and then you can tell when she points this out because it's kind of a bit weird, and you didn't really know it because you weren't looking for it. But she says there seems to be these kind of gullies carved alongside as well, and it kind of looks, when you look at it, and it's got, you thought it was just part of the ground, but you now see it does actually kind of go where these footprints are going, and it kind of looks like, I don't know, branches have been dragged across the ground or something, and it like leads into the woods.
A monster in a wheelchair.
Could be.
Okay.
No, there's kind of several sets of them, and it looks like kind of...
Quenlyn, tell me, how many footprints are we talking here?
I don't know. It looks like 2, but then I don't know what these are. They're weird. I've never really seen them.
They are ominous, as you said before.
Yeah, they lead into the forest.
Okay, well, Quenlyn, there's only one thing we can do, I think. Follow them.
Yeah, I mean, well, we can't go home now.
It's true. All right, so you want to take point, or should I? Me and Watercracker heading up there. Only go as fast as the slowest man. That's what I learned in junior questing school.
I think the
questing scouts.
I tell you what. Do you want to go ahead?
I would be delighted.
I can see over you from up here on my horse, so it kind of works out all right.
This is efficient. So, Quenlyn, what do you arm yourself with? What's your equipage? Are you a bow woman?
I have a bow. I have a short sword as well. I like to mix and match.
I was wondering why you clanked when you walked.
Well,
yeah, I've got a few different bits, but if I'm honest, I don't really feel like I've struck on my real weapon. I've got a little dagger here. Got myself a hand axe. You like this crossbow? It's all right, but
it's good to have options, especially in the forest. Sometimes there's not enough vision to shoot, or I like to have a sword at the ready. And as you go in, she actually pulls out her sword.
I pull out my quite small dagger.
All right.
Would you like to set the scene of me on my donkey, a half-orc, wielding a very small dagger?
So we'll go back to Quenlyn's view. She sees in front of her this kind of weird, furry at the bottom, grey, hulking at the top shape, which is you sitting on Watercracker with a tiny dagger poking out the side, plodding along kind of like a large duck in front of her. And as you continue along the tracks, they lead you into the forest, and soon the moonlight is almost completely curtained behind the canopy of the trees. It's darker in here, but you can see the shapes of the trees illuminated in a faint red glow that seems to be emanating from the red rocks dotted around the area. You're well out of Kidneystone now, but it seems they're just as common in here in the forest.
Quenlyn, is this normal?
No, haven't seen this before. I mean, they look kind of a little shiny in the day, right? But I've never seen them glow. I mean, you'd know, right? The houses would be glowing.
Yeah.
No, I've never seen this. It's quite bizarre.
It rocks.
Hey, good joke.
Thank you. I'm a bit known in Notisport as a bit of a joker.
I mean, you know, Franny, but it's good to have a bit of a chuckle on an adventure. You can't be too serious.
To be fair, to be like Franny, I would have to have a horse which was 50 hands high.
You would.
Rowe just thinks about that for a bit. Like he's just contemplating it. Just
Rowe's got that low intelligence that might cause him to contemplate a 50 foot tall.
But he's actually, I was going to say he's quite wise, but he's not either.
No, thinking's
He
not
is
necessary.
charming, though.
He's
He
charming
is
as
charming.
fuck. All right, so you've actually got dark vision, so you can see still pretty well in here with that, but you definitely you're not colorblind. You can still tell that the rocks are glowing kind of faintly, but they're certainly glowing. Yeah, it is eerie, and there's kind of a bit of a mist as well in kind of amongst the trees in the distance and so on. You notice as you're going on from the kind of low vantage point of Watercracker, the deep gullies in the ground kind of pull across to the side bit by bit and just kind of stop and kind of hit the edge of the forest, like run into the trees or something. Quenlyn says,
I'd like to investigate that.
Okay.
So I ride
Quenlyn hops off her horse and
Watercracker up, and I get another stunning 4.
So what are you looking at?
I don't know.
So Quenlyn looks down and says, the gullies go to the side and just kind of go into these trees here, but the footprints carry on. I don't really know what to make of it.
Is it like somebody was dragging something?
Yeah, perhaps.
Branches?
Why would they do that?
And this was inside the town. Has anything been missing?
No, just the people.
My clothes were also missing earlier on.
Yeah, but that was just you. You took them off to dance on the table.
Self-inflicted injury.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm not going to lie, Quenlyn. I have no idea what this means. I reckon we just follow
Should
these.
we carry on?
Yeah, let's just do it.
Yeah, cool.
Can we take the horses into the forest? What's their opinion of that?
Can you what?
Can we take our steeds?
Yeah. You gonna hop back on? Or you just want to keep walking?
I might like walk in front of Watercracker for a bit.
So the glow seems to be even brighter in the distance ahead, and as you continue closer, the rocks seem to get more numerous and glow brighter. And you see this kind of up ahead, looks like there's maybe a bit of a clearing where it's really quite bright.
Okay, I'd like to pause before the clearing. I think I'm gonna make some hand signals at Quenlyn for her to dismount.
Okay.
And I'm gonna tie up Watercracker to a tree. I just want to make sure I'm not taking him into a combat situation. There's a lot going on in that little donkey brain.
Yeah.
And I don't think he needs some of the memories that might come out of quite an intense quest. So I'm gonna give him another carrot as well.
He's calmed by the carrot. He chews on
Good
it gently
boy.
with this kind of weird side-by-side chewing motion that horses and donkeys do. It's kind of weird.
Good boy, Watercracker.
A lot of it's falling out of his mouth, but you can tell
Daddy's
he's
got to go
blissed out.
somewhere, but don't worry, I'll be back for you.
All right. So you want to continue on up ahead?
Yeah.
A large...
Kind of stealthily, I think. I think we're not blundering in. We're not afraid. We are moving with caution, but boldly.
Roll stealth.
16.
Pretty good. A large circular clearing opens up before you, and hundreds of jagged red rocks of all shapes and sizes lay scattered around the circle. Their light burns as bright as a setting sun, and the shadows from the trees seem to paint the mist in the night sky black. You've never seen anything like it before, Rowe, and you find it kind of quite beautiful. You feel...
This is quite beautiful.
Yeah. You feel a warm glow coming from your right shoulder, and as you reach up to touch it, the warmth moves from the mark left by the unicorn to an adjacent piece of bearskin.
So when I touch it, where I touch it with my fingers, they then glow.
No. You touch the unicorn kind of mark that's there, and you feel the warmth there underneath it kind of move across on your chest to
Is it like
to another
avoiding?
bear piece.
Is it avoiding my fingers?
Well, you follow it along and it stays there, and there's just now a warm patch.
Over my heart?
Just kind of
what about
next
my
to the
nipple?
tattoo.
Is it?
Your nipples are fine. You want to roll for them? No, they're fine. Your nipples are fine. Good. Don't worry. Yeah, that's what happens.
Yeah, because I heard about a guy who got hit in the arrow by a in the nipple with an arrow. Did mad piercing damage.
Quenlyn says, What's going on, Rowe? Are you all right?
Oh, sorry, I'm glowing, but then I did a bit that wasn't very funny. So I don't know, like this tattoo. I mean, I got it the other day when I got my powers. It started glowing. I can feel something inside my chest.
Weird. And it's glowing now. It's warm.
Warm to the touch. It's the strangest thing.
Wonder what it means.
You don't seem that freaked out.
Well, I don't know. It's all a bit freaky. I've never seen rocks like this. It's quite weird. Roll perception.
All right. Ooh, nice. 12.
You hear from the path behind you, Watercracker making kind of a donkey noise, like
worried
donkey noise.
I, without a second's hesitation, I'm going back for Watercracker. Watercracker!
Okay, so that's stealth roll.
Stealth roll is gone. I'm going for the donkey.
Yep. Quenlyn also sees you run past, upends it, and heads at the same direction as you. So you head back to the tied up horses, and you can see in the pathway two kind of looming figures walking towards you, and they kind of look like trees. Like they look like people. They're humanoid in kind of shape, but they're all
We've got a
branches.
bit of an Ent situation going on, haven't
they're
we?
They're kind of like Ents, but they're more humanoid, and they don't like have big leaves and stuff. They do look kind of actually like human.
They're just woody boys.
Figures, but they have like their legs are kind of like a mess of roots and stuff, and their arms are branches, but they're just a bit more. They're not like a big tree that
yeah.
Do Ents move? They do.
Yeah.
I guess they're kind of like Ents. Yeah.
Okay.
Smaller than you'd imagine an Ent to be. A Lord of the Rings Ent, anyway.
Cool.
Roll initiative.
Okay.
So they're going to move first in this round. They move up together as one, and one goes to attack you. It's just like making a big swipe.
Just as long as they're leaving Watercracker alone, I'm fine with that.
They're not going for Watercracker. They see you as the threat for sure. Their arm branches, I guess, are like jagged and sharp, and they're kind of scratching at you with these branches. That's an 8 to hit.
It does not hit.
Okay, so the next one comes up. It's going to go for Quenlyn. 15, and that I believe hits. All right, cool. I get to damage someone. Okay, it does 2 damage.
It was all worth it.
Yeah, you can see Quenlyn takes a hit, but it doesn't seem to do too much. She holds up all right.
She's tough. All right, so I'm going to say, first of all, I'm going to have a little yell at the one who I thought was a bit close to Watercracker. I'm going to say, back off, tree boy. You can only eat Watercrackers with cheese. It doesn't really make sense, but it's a kind of, he's operating
it's
in
impulse
the spur of the moment.
Pure adrenaline-fueled
Exactly.
punnage.
And I think he's going to aim he's going to lift his cool tattooed right arm, and he's going to point it at the one directly in front of you, and a beam of crackling blue energy comes out of his hand towards the tree.
Nice.
It's a 9.
Yeah, that just like whizzes off into the trees. All right, so Quenlyn kind of does what you did, really. Points her sword at the creature and says, I bet your trees don't like fire. And she casts Create Bonfire. So a bonfire is like forming underneath both of the two creatures. I haven't told you what they are yet, but they're called Twig Blights.
Twig Blights, nice.
They take 1 damage each. Oh no, doubled because they don't like fire. So
It's real high stakes stuff, people.
It really is.
Stick around for the big hits.
Low level combat. They are bloodied.
What?
Yeah, they're bloodied.
Okay. Is it their go?
Yeah, it is their go. Okay, cool. So they don't have much these guys can do, to be honest, but one's going to try grab you.
You're welcome to try, Twig Boy.
All right, so do you want to roll strength?
Yeah. 21.
Oh, my.
Ah!
Yeah, wow, he just doesn't manage to do it. You like shove his branches aside. This thing's weak compared to you. This is a low-level adventure.
You need to branch out into a different career.
Oh,
Other than
he rolls his weird barky eyes at you like, oh god, I've heard that one.
Yeah. His
Been a tree all my life.
bark is worse than his bite.
That's better. That's better.
Yeah.
All right, and the other one is just going to see how ineffective that was and make a swipe at Quenlyn. All right, well, that's actually also going to hit and do 5 damage. Pretty decent. Quenlyn actually does look a little bit more worried by that one. She's not
Quenlyn! Rowe, the rippling muscle half-orc, pulls out the hand axe from his belt and says,
I need a better melee weapon.
Yeah. Yeah, it's time for you to say timber. No.
Should have just said timber.
Timber! Oh, that's actually quite effective. A 19.
Oh, that 100% hits. Roll damage on that bad boy. 3. Yeah, you literally chop it at the base and it falls over like a tree. Just boom. Quite satisfying.
Bros thinks to himself, I wish I hadn't used the timber line before because that was cool. No, actually, if anything, I think we congratulate Rowe for not only cutting down the tree enemy, but also practicing good forester safety because he said timber before it fell.
He did. It was people knew to watch out. Quenlyn wasn't hurt.
Exactly.
All right, so it's Quenlyn's turn, and she says, I've had quite enough of this. And she just rolls an attack with her sword. Just trying to take a hack into its side. And she absolutely hits and does well over enough damage to kill it. Nothing quite as cool happens. I mean, she hit it with a sword. Like, how cool can you kill a tree with a sword?
That is a question which keeps us all up at night.
She stabs it and then pulls the sword out and flicks the black liquid off it.
Cool. That was cool.
Disgusting.
Are we over? Is combat over?
Combat is over.
I want to search these dead... No, actually, hold that. I want to run over and check the water crackers, all right.
He's a little bit panicked, but he's okay, and he kind of like looks down at your belt.
Shh.
He's calming
Okay, I get him a carrot.
He's like nudges you. Yeah. Cool. You give him a carrot. He's stoked. He's like, yeah, worth it.
This is going to be a really exciting night in Woodcracker's memory.
I know, he's never had an adventure quite like this. So you search them, and there's not a heap to find. They really are tree people. They have a black liquid on them. You do see a scrap of fabric on one.
I'd like to investigate the black fabric.
It's not black. It's just a piece of fabric. It looks like it's been ripped. You can see some kind of like, it's like the hem of a dress or something like that. It's kind of like frilly. It looks like it's kind of peasant.
Quenlyn, I think I've got a clue here.
What is it?
I think it's the piece of a hem of a dress.
Wow.
I think that these twig creatures, I don't know what they're called yet in character.
I think they're twig blights.
Thanks for that, Quenlyn. I think these twig blights might be kidnapping people.
What would a tree want with a person? And why were they with the other footsteps then?
So we saw footprints. I mean, that could have been a person running away from twig blights.
No,
the other ones,
no. These weren't running. They were walking.
Maybe they're friends.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe
some people they're friends with. Some they want to kidnap.
Maybe somebody is getting married to a twig blight, and they were capturing the guests to take to the wedding.
Been to a lot of twig blight wedding?
Not a lot. Quenlyn, if I'm honest, my heart's going quite hard, and I'm still kind of recovering. That was cool. I hit one with a hand axe, and it fell over. I said, "Timber, did you hear that?"
It was
great.
And
then you got a big hit there, and you just took it like a champ, and then you just hacked it with a sword. That was cool.
It was very exciting. I've never fought one of these before, so that's one to check off, you know.
All right, let's go and... Oh, I've got a cool tattoo to get tomorrow. Let's go and look at these rocks. We got distracted.
All right, so heading back down the narrow path, you follow the footprints and arrive at the clearing.
So this is the humanoid footprints.
Yeah, the humanoid footprints carry on and just kind of go into the middle of this massive stones that's around here. This clearing has got more stones than anywhere else that you've seen so far, and they burn really brightly. In fact, they burn more brightly than they did only a few minutes ago when you were here. It seems like they're getting brighter and brighter. And as you sit there, well, you stand there and look at them for a moment, you notice the rocks begin to rumble. Softly at first, but it quickly ramps up, and they're soon shaking so much you can see them lurching themselves off the ground, and suddenly they jolt together in the center of the clearing, the jagged edges of the rock fitting together like a jigsaw puzzle to form a surprisingly smooth and well-formed archway. The rumbling fades and the archway sits stoically, glowing. What do you do?
Quenlyn, you seeing this shit? This is crazy.
Oh my god! What is this, Rowe?
Well, I'm no expert.
Is something going to come through it?
I think it's an archway.
Yeah, but an archway is an archway. What is this? This is just out of nowhere. What's going on? She pulls out her sword again.
Bear with me. I'm going to walk through it.
Really?
Is there any like mystic, like mist between it, or is it? Can I see through it?
It's not. It's completely transparent, and the rocks almost look like they're kind of glowing even less now. It's kind of fading. As you approach,
I'm going to approach it. I'm not going to step through right away. I'm going to have a little look around.
Roll perception.
11.
You can hear behind you slow, deliberate footsteps, and a familiar voice calls out through the trees and says, "Careful, Rowe! I'd not stand too close to that thing."
My God.
And
Actually, are you my God?
as you turn around, you see the extravagant figure of a unicorn make its way towards you. "Lovely to see you, Rowe. Mind if I squeeze past real quick?"
I mean, no, sir. No, of course not.
And Quenlyn says, Do you know this guy?"
Yeah, this is, I don't think we were formally introduced. I've been thinking of him as the life-saving unicorn, honestly. Is that your name?
No, that's not my name. I guess I never told you. It's, and, well, I tell you what, try not to judge. I know people, unicorn names sound a little different in common, but, my name is Twinkle Fancy Feet. I told you not to laugh. It's a very serious name and a long lineage.
Sir Twinkle Fancy Feet.
Yes?
It is an honor to meet you.
I saw what you did back there. I'm very pleased. You've been using your powers and getting stronger. That's what we like.
You gave me these powers. I've been so strong.
Yes, I saw what you did. The wolves. To a lesser extent, the swan.
Yeah, that was, I think the discretion is the greater part of valor.
Yes, no, I see. You've been doing what I asked. You've been training. You've been very careful. I like it. Now, we actually don't have long. We need to deal with this portal.
What is it, Sir Lord Twinkle Fancy Feet?
You can call me Twinkle if you like.
Twinkle.
Well, I use this portal myself, actually, normally, to travel to the Feywild. Been doing so for a long time, but it seems someone else has been using it recently, and I don't think they've been going to the Feywild.
That wasn't me. Quenlyn, was that you?
No, I don't know anything about
wasn't
this.
us, Twinkle. So
Yeah, no, I know it's not you.
counts that out.
No.
We came here on a donkey.
Someone's been using it to go to Shadowfell.
Shadowfell.
Do you know about it?
No, but it sounds bad.
It's like the opposite of the Feywild. Feywild, think of it this way. Feywild good, Shadowfell bad.
I don't like Shadowfell.
Yeah, it's a dark place, and I have no idea how someone managed to use the portal.
So
Looks
is it
like
your portal?
Well, no, it's a portal of the forest, but I use it. I thought it only went to the Feywild. It's only supposed to. It's a bit of a shortcut for me.
So what's your deal? What are you doing here?
I've come to disable this portal. Someone else has been using it,
But then how are you going to get home?
I can teleport. It's fine. I can go home. I live in this forest.
That is great.
Very convenient.
Have you seen the owls?
There's no owls in this forest, Rowe. They're not endemic to this area.
I'm pretty sure there are.
No, he actually looks at you and winks because he knows already what you did.
Okay.
He's seen it.
I tell you what, Rowe, what I need to do is to go through here, and what I need from you is, and he looks carefully at the portal, looking around, and eventually points at one particular rock and says, I need you, once I go through, to take this rock.
This one? No,
Yeah.
this one.
No, no.
The first one?
Up
This one?
a little.
This one right here.
No, lower.
That one.
Yes, that one.
It's more of a pebble.
Don't forget, must be that rock.
Can I pick it up? Is it large enough to pick up?
Don't touch it yet.
Okay.
It disables the portal. I need to go through.
Okay, I'm both... I'm a bit forgetful. I'm not good at perceiving things. So I'm going to carefully take something. I'm going to take a little bit of ink out of my pouch, and I'm just going to splash it on it. So
Okay.
I know which one it is.
You do that successfully.
Nice.
Well, I'll tell you what, Rowe. Why are you here?
Well, I'm... Twinkle, I don't think I would have been here if you hadn't saved me. And I don't really know what that means now. I was just telling my friend Quenlyn. This is Quenlyn, by the way. Quenlyn, Twinkle, Twinkle,
Hi,
Quenlyn.
Quenlyn. Charmed.
That you saved my life. And I now feel that I've suddenly got these powers. Do you know about the powers? Did you give me the powers?
I gave you the powers, Rowe.
Wow.
Absolutely. In fact, that reminds me. I think it's time. Do you remember the choice I told you needed to make?
I mean, I was like... You know about blood loss, right?
Yes.
You
lost a lot of blood that day.
I thought I was delirious. If it hadn't been that tattoo, I thought the whole thing was a dream.
No. It's very much not a dream, Rowe. But you need to choose, before I go in this portal, between the chain, the blade, and the tome. Do you remember?
I remember.
Have you thought about it?
I have. Not as much as you would have expected, but I have thought about it.
That's fine. I can offer you only one.
I choose the chain.
The chain. He walks up to you and with his horn kind of puts it towards the current mark and like scooches your armor over a little bit until it's just above the old mark. And you feel a warmth in your shoulder as a white mark appears just above the unicorn. It's the mark of a chain. And the second he does that, into existence snaps a
Pseudo dragon.
And it arrives on your shoulder, on your right shoulder. The second it's implanted on your shoulder and flaps around kind of
Hey there,
as though it's just learning to fly, and then kind of like lands on the ground and stumbles over a bit and looks up at you and is like, ah.
Oh, I kneel down straight away. I'm like, hey there, little guy. And I put my finger out to it.
Yeah, he hops right on and he cruises up your right arm and lands back on your shoulder.
I'm going to name you Bestie.
And are we going to give this thing a voice?
Yeah.
Do you want to pick a voice for him? I think he should talk.
I do think you should talk.
Or she. Could be a lady.
Yeah, okay. I think it's a female dragon. I think it's red with kind of black spines. It's kind of quite a dark color.
Cool dragon.
It is a cool dragon. It's tiny. It is like
They're tiny, right?
Yeah. And it says in a little voice that only I can hear, I like you.
I like it. Hey, what do you say back?
I like you too, Bestie. My name is Rowe.
Quenlyn's like, oh my god, and she sees its familiarity with you and reaches out to grab it. How does it interact with?
It snaps at her fingers instantly.
Oh, okay, all right, not so.
I think
so
Rowe's not
friendly.
that happy with you. He's like, cool it, Quenlyn. This is me and Bestie's moment, all right?
Okay, no, he's very. She
She.
and her name's Bestie.
Her name is Bestie
She's adorable.
because she's my bestie.
Yeah, great. So Twinkle says,
What I mean to say is, why are you here specifically, here at the portal?
Well, Twinkle, I mean, I don't have a great answer. Quenlyn here there's people missing. There's people missing from Kidney Stone. So we thought, let's just jump on over on some steeds. Let's have a little wander. Let's see what we can find out. And we're trying to save people.
Yeah, so from what I can tell, it looks like somebody's coming through from Shadowfell and taking people. And I don't know why, but I need to go through now. I'm going to go and find out who's coming through, kick some ass, and take care of this, Rowe. But you leave this to me, all right?
I will.
and you look at the portal, and while you've been speaking to Twinkle and getting Bestie, the rocks have been getting duller and duller, and there's almost hardly any light coming from the actual rocks now, but there is kind of a glow on the inside of the portal, and you can tell it, like, I guess it takes a while to form. Like, there's a bit of energy that has to transfer into the middle from the rocks. And you can see it's kind of shimmering in there. You can no longer see straight through. The trees on the other side are, like, blurred and warped. And Twinkle says, well, I think it's about time to go.
Yeah, but wait, I have so many questions. Where should I go? What should I do next? What am I meant to do?
You're doing exactly as you need to, Rowe. Keep fighting the good fight. Get stronger. You're definitely, and I must stress this, not strong enough to come to Shadowfell. So I'm going through, and remember the rock? It's the one with ink. You need to pull it out, and I'll be in touch.
All right, then.
And Twinkle steps through the portal. You see, step by step, he disappears, goes through, and vanishes.
Quenlyn, crazy idea. Should we go to Shadowfell?
I think he was pretty specific about it being a bit tough, but I'm the curious type. I'll go if you will. It did sound like he trusted you. But if you think you can
to go.
Yeah, he said you needed to take the key. I mean, I guess the portal's still here if you don't.
That is actually a very good point. This is the only way to stop people getting kidnapped, right?
I guess we have the key. We could go through any time.
That's a very good point. All right, where was it?
She looks and she goes, it's this one that you put the ink on.
Okay, I pick up the key.
Yep, you pull it out and the light from the inside of the archway snaps out of existence and it's dark again. You can see with your dark vision eyes just fine, but all the glow from the middle of the portal, from the stones, it's all gone. It's dark. But the rocks still sit there in the shape of a portal.
Quenlyn, I can't help feeling this is a bit of a mixed success. We didn't save anyone, really.
Well, we know where they went, at least. Maybe that's enough for the reward? I don't know.
Now,
they'll probably want to go in.
The sound of that reward. Let's go and get the reward.
All right.
So Rowe heads back towards the water cracker. The whole time he's playing with little Bestie on his shoulder.
Yeah.
And they're saying nice things. Oh, you are a beautiful dragon. Can I just say that? Just look at those scales. And it's just in his head saying, I like you, Rowe. Are we going to have adventures? You better believe it. We're going to do so many interesting things. Can you fly? I sure can, Rowe. I can go really high. This is going to be a lot of fun. Can you do magic or anything? Or like a little bit. I belong to a magical kind. Dragons.
So sweet.
Yeah. Rose says, now, there's somebody I'd really like you to meet. Watercracker, meet Bestie. Bestie, meet Watercracker.
All right, that was episode 2. Thanks for listening to it.
Thank you for listening.
It's over now, so you can stop listening now.
Or carry on listening. Just hit hit next. Another one will come up.
Another one. It depends if you're on Apple. It might do that weird thing where you've got to like go to available episodes. It's a bit annoying. You could definitely stop listening now. We're going to keep rambling just for another couple minutes or so, but definitely just push next. Go on.
For the real fans, this is the bonus episode.
But there's going to be nothing juicy in here at all. It's just going to be rambling.
Do you remember those?
Out. We'll fade it out probably over time, but not yet. It's still going to be loud, and then we'll eventually begin to fade it.
Do you remember those CDs in the 90s which had a little secret track at the end?
Yeah.
Maybe we should hide one of those at the end of every podcast.
Yeah, we should. We like just mumble for 30 minutes, then boom, super juicy content at the end comes
What's
in.
Rowe doing now? Oh, it's Rowe XXX. I don't want to record that.
Return of Rowe.